If you're going to use the vmax Windows client, once you run the client and connect to a host, you can click on the host to populate the host information, see how many virtual machines are on the host, whether or not it's online, its unique ID, and other informations that are a part of the host configuration file. If you click on virtual machines, you'll see a list of virtual machines on the host. Notice that domain 0 is the hypervisor, and you should not shut this down or perform any host operations on it. If you'd like to interact with the machines, you can right-click and start, stop, pause, resume, clone, delete, force shutdown, remote control, or get info about a particular virtual machine. The Storage tab will list all of the available virtual hard disks on the machine, as well as all of the ISO files that are on the hypervisor for creating new machines. You can click on disk usage to get an idea of how much space is being used on the machine. Typically, the root directory is a directory that should have the most space, since that's where all the virtual machine hard disks are installed. The Performance tab will display the CPU performance of each virtual machine. In blue is the number of CPUs. Of course, DOM0 has the most CPUs. In orange is the CPU time that each machine has used. If you'd like to transfer a file, you can click Browse to select a file and transfer it to the virtual machine host. And finally, the logs will show you all of the logs that are generated whenever an action is performed. Here, the ISO and disk retrieval lists are populated automatically whenever you click on a host. To create a virtual machine, you can select the host, type the name of the virtual machine, select the OS image you'd like to use, or if you prefer to use an existing virtual disk, you can create a disk from that machine. Choose the memory, to disk size, and the number of virtual CPUs, then click Create VM. Clicking on Settings will also list the application settings for the vmax application. Typically, in the Programs directory, or rather Program Data folder, you'll notice that here is where the vmax configuration file is. You can edit this manually if you'd like to add additional hosts to the system, change IP address configuration, or you can click Add Host, fill out the information here to add a new host.
Hello, my name is Dennis Obando. The actor in this video would be the administrator that would need to edit the configuration file on the Xen hypervisor. As you see, the user interface is split up into two sections. One to display or edit configuration info interface, and the other one display the configuration file. You can change views by just pressing Tab on the keyboard. As you can see, it changes the cursor from one view to the other. The purpose of the interface is for the administrator to view certain configuration settings on the Xen hypervisor. For this user interface at first, it's just to view and edit host IP address and host port number. So how an administrator would use this interface is by selecting an option such as display host IP address, pressing enter, and it would display to the administrator what the host IP address is. If the administrator chooses to edit the IP address, he can do that by selecting Edit Host IP Address. A dialog box will pop up, and the administrator is able to put in whatever IP address they choose. It shows you the changed IP address, and you can even view it by selecting Display Host IP Address, or even to show the entire configuration file. So those steps can be done for port as well, or if the administrator chooses to do both at the same time, he is able to do both at the same time.
Hi everyone, my name is Qixiu Xin. Today I'm gonna show you the how to use the virtual machine administration Xen project web page. So first thing, you can go open the project through the virtual Visual Studio, and then after you open the project, you can see the about page and the home page. The first thing, you need to log in the host IP address from the label, and then you can click on the Create Virtual Machine button. Then you can see a small jumps out window called End Virtual Machine. You can type in the virtual machine name, and type in the memory information, the CPUs, the hard disk, and select the operating system. Or you can do, after typing the information, you can click on the Create Virtual Machine from ISO or Create Virtual Machine from a VHD. Then you right-click on the green button, Connect button. The whole virtual machine list will be show up. Also, the new virtual machine which you added over there will show below in the table.